You go back to the end of their post-championship when they had won 26 games, then 18 and 23 last year, 13. But of course, feel good about the future with Angel Reese, who set a WNBA record last season, not a rookie record, a league averaging 13.1 rebounds per game. Camila Cardoso, part of that young core for Chicago as well.
And they did that some in free agency. They got Kay Nurse, they got Becca Allen, two players who can help spread the floor. They bring in Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins as well. But you would think they continue to look for some floor spacing, particularly from the guard spot or a stretch four.
And when I think about whoever Chicago gets in this draft, the one thing I can guarantee is that they're going to continue to get better throughout their pro career because of their head coach, Tyler Marsh. Tyler Marsh has been known throughout his coaching career as an excellent player development coach. The way he grows and expands the games of his players, he's coached alongside the best, and that's what he does as a head coach.
Saw him do that in Vegas, now a head coach in Chicago. Time to find out who his first rookie to develop will be. Back to the podium and the commissioner with the 10th pick.
With the 10th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Aneesah Sivka from Slovenia.
Well, we've seen some serious international talent in this draft. Now the third player from overseas to go off the board through these first 10 picks with Aneesah Sivka.
I mean, this is a really intriguing young player. She's 6'3" and long. She can play in the pick and pop. She has a really quick release on her three-point shot, catch and shoot type player. You look at her and wonder, can she be the next Leonie Phoebish, where she has the length to be able to defend on the perimeter, the skill set on the offensive end, and certainly the size at 6'3".
When we talked about floor spacing, just look at how quickly she gets the ball out of her hands. You can shoot off the dribble. Her on the outside, on the perimeter, gives the spacing needed for Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. She can pass the ball, she can feed the post, and it's the shot ability in her game will also expand in Chicago.
Well, Aneesah is now with Holly.
Well, you've come from Slovenia. You're known as a great shooter, but you have a favorite WNBA player. Who do you compare yourself to sometimes?
I love to watch Leonie Phoebe. I think a lot of people compare me to her. And I think my idol is also Breanna Stewart.
You know, you have such a similar game. You're such a great shooter, but I see your dad. He was a good player too. He's down here taking pictures on his phone. How special is it for your dad, who helped you become a player as a little girl, be here to watch this tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I started playing because of him. He was always my idol, so it really means a lot to me that he's here. So yeah, I'm just grateful.
Thank you so much.
I mean, there's just nothing better on this night than seeing the emotions and the celebrations from the family members of these young women as their dreams come true. Gino Auriemma has helped steward a lot of those dreams through the years. A 12-time national champion. His player, Paige Beckers, went #1 overall. Gino joins the set next.
Good food tastes better with a dollop of Daisy. Do a dollop, do a dollop, yeah. Everything tastes better with a dollop of Daisy.
Hey, you playing for an ultra?
We're playing for ultras. Race you for an ultra?
Put an ultra on it.
The final page in the book of Beckers is title number 12 for UConn. Oh, Gino Auriemma, a big hug for his star. He spent 5 years with Paige Beckers. In those final moments of a 12th national championship, the most titles, the most wins in NCAA basketball history, men's or women's, and Gino Auriemma joins the set now here on draft night. Coach, first of all, congratulations on another championship.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You've talked about how unique the journey is for Paige. You've been through a lot of these nights with your players throughout the years.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you thinking about and feeling watching Paige tonight as she's picked number 1 overall?
A lot of times it goes pretty smoothly. You know, you go in as a freshman, you play a little bit, or you play a lot, you have success or you don't, and you keep building on it every year. Somewhat uninterrupted. I think there may have been a time during Paige's sophomore and junior year, maybe, where I wouldn't have questioned her if you start thinking, is this going to be my career?
Yeah.
Is this going to define my career? How many games playing? How many games I didn't win? How many Final Fours I didn't make? Or how many national championships I didn't win? And that's a lot, you know, when somebody's anointed you as the, you know, next great player at UConn. So for it to end the way it ended, it's almost like prophetic.
If Chris Koklanis, the coach of the Dallas Wings, calls you and says, what's the best piece of advice you can give me as I now embark on coaching Paige Beckers, what would your advice be?
Pretend that everything's okay. Be ready for her to challenge you, and you should challenge her. She's going to be a risk taker, and you're going to have to live with some of the risks because most times they actually pay off. And that at the end of the day, just keep in mind, she wants to win as much as you do, and she'll spend more time in the gym than you do. So it's a home run for both of them.
Another thing that Coach Koklanis can bank on is Paige to give credit to her teammates. She did it at the desk with us after the national championship. She advocated for 2 of her teammates to get drafted tonight. How would you describe her commitment to uplifting her team?
She's been like that with everyone, really. She's one of those kids that gets a lot given to her, and she's earned all of it. But everything that she gets, there's not one thing that she gets that she doesn't share it with her teammates, with the support staff. She's got this party tonight. There's like, I don't know, 15 managers and practice players all invited to the party. She's just one of those kids that's more giving. She gets a lot, but she gives a lot back.
All right, Coach, how about 4 championships, 4 different decades, 12 championships in 4 different decades now with winning this year? Sound pretty good?
Sounds like a old guy. You know, somebody should say he should have the good sense to like call it a day. You know, like, it's about as good as it's going to get, I guess. Yeah, you know, when you're at a place like UConn and you're able to get the players that we get, it's hard to walk away. It really, really is. I mean, it's just a special place, and it means so much. You saw the parade yesterday. It means so much to so many people. I don't think they need me that much around there anymore, but I think I need them more than they need me right about now.
Beautiful answer, Coach. Congratulations on another championship and having one of your favorites go number 1 tonight.
Yeah, it was great for her, great for her family, and great for her teammates. So it's a great night.
All right, thank you to Gino Auriemma joining us here as we take a look at Chicago and Minnesota making a trade, which puts Chicago back on the clock. So Minnesota now will have Chicago's pick next year as they extinguish a pick swap and instead just have Chicago's first-round pick cleanly in 2026. What that means is Chicago gets to pick where Minnesota would have at number 11 overall. Who do they add to their stable? We send things back to the commissioner for that answer.
I saw 140 messages. Is everybody okay?
With the 11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Haley Van Lith,
Haley
Texas
Van
Christian
Lith.
University.
Haley Van Lith, back with Angel Reese. Haley Van Lith versus Chicago Sky.
You see a huge
Haley
hug from
Van
Haley Van
Lith.
Lith
Look
with
at her
mom and dad.
parents.
Regular fixtures during her games
They
throughout her
get
collegiate
her.
career.
They
Her
trade up to
boyfriend,
get her.
NBA
They
star
trade up
Jalen
to
Suggs in the
secure
building,
Haley.
and Haley Van Lith, a first-round pick after just a terrific
first-round
season
pick.
at TCU, taking 3 different schools
Tigers
to the Elite Eight throughout her
United,
collegiate
playing
career, and
together
now
for
headed to the
Milwaukee.
Chicago Sky.
And I really
Milwaukee's
love
there
this
in the
pick for the
building with
Chicago
the-
Sky.
with
They
the
traded and
LSU
brought
dad.
in the veteran point guard and Courtney Vandersloot, got her in free
Congratulations,
agency.
Haley.
And this is a perfect opportunity now for Haley Van Lith as a young point guard, ready and eager to learn, to be able to do it from one of the best.
And she is going to be playing alongside someone she shared the court with in Angel Reese. Those two played together at LSU. There's a connection there. There's a synergy there. And the competitive edge of Haley Van Lith will be so fun to watch at the next level. She is someone that loves this game so much. She's committed so much to it. And the transfer to TCU and making that move and almost finding herself again, it was fun for us to watch. Now we get to watch her at the next level.
The Big 12 Player of the Year, the newcomer of the year in the Big 12, and an All-American now headed to the Chicago Sky. Haley Van Lith is with Holly.
So when you were a kid, your dad would rent out the elementary school across the street so you could work out at 4 a.m. Everyone always says your work ethic is like no one else's. How do you say thank you to your family for pushing you and helping you to get here and be a top draft pick?
Yeah, I think the biggest way I can say thank you is continue to pursue my dreams. A lot of the reason why I keep going is because I look back at them and they just have poured so much into me that I want to take this dream as far as I can. So shout out to my blue collar parents who busted their butt every morning and provided for our family because they built the foundation of my game.
You didn't have to reinvent yourself this year. You had to prove to yourself how good you still were. How did you do that?
Through faith. 100%. God carried me through the lows of my life when I wasn't able to get up and walk. So my faith has meant everything, but also learning that it's okay to embrace who you are and walk in that energy has meant everything this year for me.
Okay, good energy with Courtney Vandersloot. You can learn from her. You're paired back with Angel Reese. There's some good energy you can walk into in Chicago, right?
Oh, I love that energy. We're ready. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Haley, who is headed to the Chicago Sky. Meanwhile, the New York Liberty do not have a pick, but you know what they do have? A championship after that thrilling 5-game series with Minnesota that came down to the final seconds. Niara Sabali never going to buy a drink in this city again. Just a remarkable finals, an incredible, unforgettable series. And then New York adds a significant piece, Drea, this offseason off that title as well with Natasha Cloud.
Natasha Cloud brings a level of speed, intensity, energy, and a perimeter defensive presence that New York didn't have. And what's scary to think about is New York won the title without all of those things. They are even more dangerous with the veteran point guard who can find her teammates. And look at the teammates she's going to be passing to night in and night out. This is an even more dangerous Liberty team.
A New York Liberty team that returns all 5 of its starters from the playoffs and their championship run a season ago. Certainly, to me, they are the championship favorite going into this season.
All right, so the Liberty won't be picking, but the Dallas Wings will round out our first round now. They took Paige Beckers, number 1. Who do they take? Number 12. The final pick of the first round is in, and for that selection, we get things back over to the podium, to the commissioner of the WNBA with the 12th pick. Here's Kathy Engelberg.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Aneesah James, NC State.
Oh, you love the family handshake there with Aneesah, who this is a player who over the last couple of years, how many times were we all at an NC State game watching Westmore's team where Aneesah James would deliver a huge performance against some of the best teams in the country?
She can go on an absolute heater. We have seen Isaiah James be unstoppable with the ball in her hand. She is a lefty. She can get into her shot. She can get to the rim. She can knock down threes off the catch and off the dribble. When you talk about a Dallas team strengthening its pieces, we've talked about Paige Beckers, we've talked about Arike Gumbawale. This is a player that fits right into that mold with her ability to score.
Here's a question for you, Drea. If you have Isaiah James on the floor with Arike Gumbawale and Paige Beckers and you're the opponent, who do you put your best guard defender on?
Exactly.
You might just have to say good luck. This young woman can just go get a bucket. The lefty can step out to three. She has a great mid-range, can drive it inside as well. I mean, plays efficiently. She's unselfish. She can just go get buckets whenever she wants to. And again, the spacing that they'll have on the floor because of the other pieces that she could be alongside, watch out.
So Dallas bookends the first round with Paige Beckers and Isaiah James. And you know what? They're pumped up at the watch party. Yeah, in Arlington, they're celebrating the addition of Isaiah James, and Isaiah is with Holly.
Well, Isaiah, you told me earlier one of the things that you were the most proud of is how far you've come. This wasn't always a promise to be a first-round draft pick. What are you the most proud of on your journey?
Like you said, my upcoming, my first 2 years, not many people knew my name. I worked hard, I grinded that summer, and, my junior year, I came out the gate busting people to hills, and, it got me where I came, so yes.
Coach Westmore would talk about you had to be patient to get your turn. When you got it and developed those skills, how did you make the most of that opportunity?
I'm so grateful, Coach Moore. People don't want to sit on the bench, but I feel like that was a humbling moment for me. I was a sponge, and I learned from my vets, and I stayed quiet and waited for my turn. When my number was called, I was ready.
The game is loud now, which is a good thing. I know your mom is here, your brother's here, but you wanted to remember someone special to you tonight. Tell me about AJ.
Yes, in 2020, my brother passed away. He might not be here today, but he's sitting at that table right now, and I'm so glad to see him right now.
All right, special shout out to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, beautiful tribute from Isaiah James, who is the final pick of the first round. Taking a look at our tote board, the 12 selections of this year's first round are officially in. Plenty of talent, plenty of opportunity across the WNBA. The emotions flowing tonight, and still plenty more to come from the Shed at Hudson Yards. Second round action is coming up next.
Frosted Flakes good? They're great.
They're still great, Grandpa.
See? Told ya.
They're great.
It's a sweet cherry red sports car, and it doesn't match the photos. It's fine, right? Sabrina.
You guys said Mommy did Aneesah farewell video first. Where did she post it at? What book? Where did she post it? I don't know. I don't have Instagram on my computer. Only on my. Where she posted it?
as the 3-time and reigning MVP, A'ja Wilson.
My bad,
This team could look different. Jewel Lloyd and Kelsey Plum are two different players. They can both score. They're both dynamic guards, but their games are very different. I did an event with Jewel Lloyd in Tampa during the Final Four, and Jewel said, walking into the Aces facility, training alongside A'ja Wilson, she told me, I already feel like a better player. It's an inspiring environment for Jewel Lloyd. It will be that same thing for whatever rookie is selected next to go to Vegas.
Freya, you and I could walk into a building, and if A'ja Wilson's on the court, you and I are better players immediately as well. I mean, think about the remarkable year she had a season ago, leading the league in scoring. It's the first time in a couple of decades that we have had a unanimous MVP. You would expect A'ja Wilson to have a similar season this year as well.
And we saw the way Chelsea Gray looked in unrivaled. Watch out as she returns to that MVP caliber form. Let's find out who's Vegas is picking. Here's Kathy Engelbert with the selection.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Aaliyah Nye from the University of Alabama.
Well, you love when this happens. Aaliyah Nye in the crowd today, supporting her teammate, and she gets selected with the first pick of the second round and goes to a team with a chance to win it. It's just like Vegas picking Kate Martin a season ago.
They've got something for choosing the players that are in the crowd, and maybe a player that people aren't expecting them to pick. But Aaliyah Nye, let me tell you, she is a special player, a true talent. When you talk about someone that shoots 45% from the field, but 46% from beyond the arc. She made multiple threes per game this season. She can stretch the floor. She can run in transition. She sprints to the corner. Her ability to knock down shots adds another element to this Las Vegas Aces team. Broke records at Alabama for three-point shooting, and a little night-night to go with it.
And she brings good size at the 3-4 position, and that's one of the things that Becky Hammond was looking for, was a 3-4 swing who could potentially play 4 in their small ball lineup and extend the defense.
And Aaliyah is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Aaliyah, you didn't just come to support your teammate. You thought that there was a good chance you'd get drafted. You've come prepared with the outfit. Why did you believe so much in yourself in this moment?
I just have a support system. My mom, dad, sisters, coaches, they've all believed in me, and they've given me the confidence. So I just give thanks to them.
Going to an organization like Las Vegas that has, double 2-time champions, all of the great players that you can surround yourself with, what are you the most excited about?
I'm just ready to learn from all the vets there and just work hard and, just learn.
All right. You understood the assignment, not only in the crowd, getting drafted tonight, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Aaliyah Nye, headed to the Las Vegas Aces. Here are some of the best available prospects that are still to be drafted tonight as we start this second round with Aaliyah Nye, the first pick of the second round, and headed to Las Vegas. The Dallas Wings are back on the clock. 2 selections already tonight, beginning with Paige Beckers, number 1 overall, Isaiah James, number 12. How about a little update on what's going on in the Big D? Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, the eyes of Texas are upon Dallas right now. The city of Dallas has really invested in the Wings organization, giving them an incentive to come back downtown and bring the Wings, what they're saying, back home. They are going to revamp the Convention Center, Reunion Arena. They are going to put up a 65,000 square foot practice facility. So Dallas, really big improvements as they continue to invest in that team. They're a couple of years away, though, so as Paige Beckers and all of the eyes that she will bring on Dallas, they are continuing to make upgrades. They have already moved 1 game to American Airlines Arena and are continuing to make other improvements. Kurt Miller is there. Chris Koklanis, they are doing things right in Dallas, and very exciting time to be a part of the Wings organization as they upgrade what they've got going on in Texas.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. Let's find out who's going to be their latest draftee. The 14th pick is in. Back to the podium to the commissioner.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Madison Scott, Ole Miss.
Well, Madison Scott headed to Dallas, their third selection of the evening in these first 14 picks. And she will join Isaiah James and Paige Beckers with the Wings.
Kurt Miller told me that one of the things they were looking for in this draft was wing depth. And he said draftees will want to hear their name called at 12 and 14 because Dallas has space on their roster. And Madison Scott, a 6'2" player with 6'5" wingspan, brings a great amount of versatility. She can guard 1 through 5 at times. She can play the 2, 3, or 4. So good getting to her spot in the mid-range. Needs to expand her game a little bit more to the three-point line, but very good at what she can do. A hard worker, a very coachable young woman as well.
She's an absolute dog on the defensive end. My mind is already going to watching her and Dejanay Carrington get excited on the defensive end of the floor and fuel each other on that end of the floor. She's got incredible length. She can put the ball on the floor, attack the rim, finish on the inside. Rebecca, you mentioned her mid-range game there. High release, which is going to be incredibly useful at the professional level. And she's a worker. When you talk about expanding her game, that's something Madison Scott will work to do. But Dallas got a good one.
The first pick, the 12th pick, and the 14th pick for the Dallas Wings. Madison Scott is headed to Texas, and right now she chats with Holly.
Well, Madison, you just had a hug with your family members at the table that was just choking me up. There's a lot of love in your family. Tell me, what is your why? You wanted to talk about what has motivated you to be standing here tonight.
Those people right there, my circle, my siblings, London, Summer, Zion, I hope I'm showing them that they can do anything they put their mind to. So, yeah, I just want to show them the right way to do things.
You have done that. Coach Yolette says that you are Ole Miss basketball, the love that community has for you. You've already started your own foundation. What can the Dallas fans look forward to that you are going to pour into that community as well?
Just me continuing to do that work. I know that God brought me here to give back, I know I wouldn't be here without others giving back to me. So it doesn't matter that the platform changed. I'm going to continue to do what God brought me here to do and give back and just be the best that I can be.
Okay, you did beat Baylor with a game-winning shot to get to the Sweet 16 this year. They're going to forgive you. You are going to love this young woman. I promise you. You are going to bring a lot to Dallas. Thank you so much. So much love to you.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations to Madison. Hey, experience the historic and record-breaking women's college basketball season through the lens of superstars Flau'jae Johnson, Hannah Hidalgo, and Kiki Iriafen. Tune into this highly anticipated ESPN original series, Full Court Press, presented by Lilly, premiering Saturday, May 3rd, exclusively on ESPN and streaming on ESPN+. Well, the Minnesota Lynx up next at pick number 15. What a season it was for Cheryl Reeve's squad. 30-10, picking up 11 wins from the season before. Won the Commissioner's Cup, led by Nafisa Collier. One of the favorites for MVP heading into this season was the Defensive Player of the Year a season ago. And the Lynx coming seconds away from winning what would have been a record 5th championship for that franchise. This is a team that, you look at this group, there was a harmony, there was a connectivity in the way the Lynx played that we saw carry them to the brink of a championship.
This is a team that had such incredible chemistry, and other teams made flashier moves in that free agency leading up to last season. But Cheryl Reeve was able to find the exact right pieces that she needed to get her team right to the brink of a championship. So you would expect with this piece, they do not need a lot, but to bring in someone who is going to be a great chemistry piece from day one of training camp.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, does Minnesota go with someone that could come in at the point guard position? They kind of play that position by committee, or do they go with someone that can come off the bench and provide scoring? When you think about not having Maisha Hines-Allen or Chechi Zandalusini, who they lost, so there are a lot of options here for this Minnesota team in this draft.
Well, you mentioned international. The 15th pick is in. With the 15th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Anastasia Olari-Kosu from Russia. So, like you thought Minnesota might do, they go international here with Anastasia Olari-Kosu. Really brave of me to say that name twice. Meanwhile, Rebecca, we will move right along to the 16th pick of this year's draft. And the Chicago Sky back on the clock here. We've seen them be active this evening already. They picked 10th. They picked 11th. Drea talked about Tyler Marsh's ability to develop players. They get a chance to develop another. And with the 16th pick, the Chicago Sky selecting Maddie Westfeld from the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So Maddie Westfeld, who battled back from injury, a big who has a lot of touch and a lot of skill.
I talked to Tyler Marsh about things he wanted in this draft: athletic playmaking, shot creation, a stretch big. Maddie Westfeld's ability to shoot the basketball. She also brings this level of poise, this calm confidence, and her willingness to do whatever is asked of her and whatever is needed. The pieces are fitting really well for Chicago.
And we've talked all night long when it comes to Chicago about providing space for their bigs inside, and you nailed it, Drea. Maddie Westfeld is a terrific stretch four who can facilitate, career 35% shooter from the three-point line, brings certainly a need that Chicago has.
Plenty more to come here from the shed at Hudson Yards. Some of the images of the evening. A lively atmosphere, both at the venue and across the country.
The WNBA Draft 2025, presented by State Farm, is brought to you by Deloitte, trusted advisor to the WNBA.
That was a new car, huh? Yep. Big L.
Ellie?
You called for a big L, so now she's serving. Get it, girl?
I meant my car. That is a big loss.
Oh, you don't need an L, you need a W. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Just give State Farm a call. We'll get to work.
Excuse me, guys, but the queen is already working here.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Niece, Dear niece, where do I even begin? From the moment you stepped on that PMAC floor to the moment you walked off of it, it's simply been a pleasure. To be your teammate, to see you dominate the glass.
She is a relentless rebounder.
To watch you give LSU everything you had.
Grateful for the opportunity. A lot of people don't get the opportunity that I get and that I receive just to be able to come to LSU.
Proud is an understatement. Time and time again, you showed the world what we already knew. That niece is a beast.
30 points, 19 rebounds.
36 points, another double-double for you. You've been doing this all season long.
A player who doesn't come around often.
There's not a natural matchup for Aneesah at the college level.
A player who's 6'1", but whose heart can't be measured. It's crazy. You came to LSU to create a legacy. The rebounds, the double-doubles, the pure dominance. Look at you now. Congratulations on an incredible college career, but this is just the beginning.
ESPN.com/fantasy women's basketball or the ESPN Fantasy app to get started. How about that 360 cam? All of the draftees tonight looking so stylish on the orange carpet and with that 360 cam. As we see all of them showing off their outstanding looks this evening.
Ryan, you didn't want to get on the 360 cam.
You know what? I did, and they just, they shuffle us around.
Yeah, got it.
Don't they, Dre? I think that's why I did. Meanwhile, we look at what's transpired thus far tonight. A lot of players going to places where they'll have an opportunity to play, right, Dre? You mentioned it off the top. We had 4 teams who had 9 of the first 12 picks. Those 4 teams, places where you would presume they're going to have those draftees get a real opportunity to play. Another one of those places, Golden State. Golden State, we've seen draft already tonight. They are back on the clock with pick 17. An expansion franchise. Anybody who you guys are looking at in particular that might make sense for the Valkyries here at 17?
Cheyenne Sellers is a player who possibly could. J.J. Quinterly as well, and Serena Sundell. I mean, we talk about this year after year. Players, especially in the second round, should not worry about the number where they get picked.
Yes.
It's about the fit and their ability to potentially make the roster.
Yep.
All right, we're going to find out now who the 17th pick of the draft is. Let's send things back to the podium to the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Cheyenne Sellers, University of Maryland.
You see the emotion from Cheyenne Sellers, a three-time first-team All-Big Ten player who is the only player in Maryland history with 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists in her career. Giving a big hug to her head coach, Brenda Freeze, and headed to an enticing situation in Golden State.
Yeah, Cheyenne Sellers certainly brings all of the measurables. She averaged 14 points, 4 assists a game last year at Maryland. This is a 6'2" guard who played lead guard for Maryland, shot 41% from 3 on the season, brings nice length. She was dealing with a knee injury the latter part of the year, but I heard her name quite a bit as a potential first-round draft pick. This young woman can flat out score, terrific shooter, and she's proven that she can facilitate as well.
And she's just got great size. The way that she plays, the way that she uses her body, even here, she's got a strong frame, great length. To me, what I like about Cheyenne Sellers is the way her game developed and evolved from her freshman year to her last year at Maryland. She has shown she works on her game, puts the time in, which she could do at Golden State.
Well, Cheyenne is standing by with Holly Rowe.
A lot of emotion. Sometimes waiting is hard. What's it like when you hear your name called finally?
Just a sense of relief and a sense of gratitude. It's special to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
You give a big hug to your mom. You've got a special tattoo on your arm. I want to get it right. Living strong, fighting long. What has your mother meant to you? I know that you wanted to say something special to her tonight.
I mean, she's my heart and soul. I mean, genuinely, just a fighter. With MS, she shows how important it is to battle. I mean, you either feel sorry for yourself or rise to the occasion.
She's helped teach you to be a strong young lady. You told me earlier this year you are a matchup nightmare. Rebecca Lobo was just detailing how great you can be, a big guard in the WNBA, and now you'll get a chance with a franchise that's just getting started. How can you go in and make a name for yourself quickly?
I mean, just be me, soak it up. Obviously, I'm excited to play with Chloe B. It's just super amazing.
All right, this is the second best thing that happened to her this week. You also got engaged, so shout out on the biggest week of your life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Show off that ring. Okay, nicely done, Cheyenne. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Dream finally on the clock here. Interesting team. When you look at what they've gone through, a lot of changes. Last season, swept in the first round by New York. 4 of their top 6 leading scorers ended up missing serious time. They have a new head coach. They also have a lot of new talent, including a couple of very talented, accomplished bigs in Brittany Griner, and Bree Jones. I mean, how about just what we can expect from the Atlanta Dream this season with some interesting reinforcements from this offseason?
The Atlanta Dream is the team I'm most interested to watch this year because I don't know exactly what to expect. They returned that backcourt. They did deal with some injuries a season ago, but returned their backcourt, which is a strong area for them. And then in free agency, bring in both Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. And it's just going to be interesting to see how all those pieces fit. We saw the success Carl Smesko had at Florida Gulf Coast, playing kind of a 5-out, taking a lot of threes style. How are all those pieces going to come together? I'm really eager to see what that looks like when the season starts.
Yeah, in 6 of the last seasons that Smesko was at FGCU, they were ranked top 2 in D1 in 3-point field goals made per game. That is not what we've seen from Atlanta. Atlanta last season was at the bottom of the league in 3-point field goal percentage and 3-point field goal makes. Like you said, they had some injuries. Jordan Canada being back should certainly help. move the ball a little bit. But yes, how do you create space around the bigs on the inside? Three-point shooting.
Maybe we see BG and Brianna Jones taking a lot of threes this year. That is worth tuning in for.
BG3 has a nice ring to it. We'll see who's headed to Atlanta. Here is the commissioner.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Atlanta Dream select Te-Hina Paopao from the University of South Carolina.
You see the reaction from Te-Hina, not here tonight in Oceanside, California because of a family health matter, but surrounded by loved ones and able to celebrate. We saw our head coach, Dawn Staley, celebrating this moment. What a career for Te-Hina Paopao.
And if we're going to talk about three-point shooting, we might as well talk about the young woman who led the nation in three-point percentage 2 years ago when she shot 47% from the three-point line. She's really expanded her game this year, gotten inside, taken floaters, able to hit in the mid-range. Dawn Staley would talk a lot about the fact that her team could exhale when Te-Hina Paopao got going on the offensive end of the floor, was able to do some really nice things for the Gamecocks the past 2 years.
Well, Te-Hina Paopao has an incredible support system thanks to her family that's been there every step of the way. And now time for tonight's assist, brought to you by State Farm.
Philly to South Carolina to the all
They're very big, as in stature and as members, so I'm sure they know who the Paopao families are.
They have anywhere from 10 to 20 people or more at each and every one of her games, not home games. Everywhere we go, it's a multitude of people that's been supporting her.
What makes Polynesians and Samoans so unique is the togetherness. We're taught from a young age that family is important and that we just have to be genuine and support each other and love each other. It's very important in our culture, as well as in my family, to have sports be part of who we are. They teach you who you want to become as a person.
Paopao was born into a family known for football. At the age of 7, she hadn't yet found her sport, but her dad began including Paopao in her brother Israel's 4 a.m. workouts, teaching her the discipline that brought success to other members of the family.
My dad would make me run around the track and be able to see what it was like to put in the work at such a young age. It was something that I just always was like, hey, I got to do what I got to do to get like where he is. And it's so important to have Paopao on my back. I carry it with great pleasure, great love, great support, great trust. And the only thing I want to do is make them proud, knowing that I'm doing this for them.
So, Te-Hina, you do have a lot of love and support. Over 300 people showed up for your draft watch party in Oceanside, California. Shout out to everybody there who's pouring so much love into you. As you hear your name called tonight, what's the reaction in the room? Share with us that joyful moment, what you're seeing and experiencing there.
Just love, support, excitement, and we're just ready to open my next chapter. And it was just really fun to spend this time with my family, and it's been nothing but joy and excitement.
You are so proud of your Samoan culture, and you have been so vocal about it and proud of how your family has poured into you. We see you in your traditional dress tonight. What are you so proud of that you can share with us?
Just we're a family unit. I mean, I'm so blessed to be Samoan, and you know, when you think of Samoan, you think of family and unity and togetherness, and that's. And I'm just ready to bring that culture to Atlanta.
Junior Seau is her uncle. Megan Ferremo, the great UCLA pitcher. Fale Avul that won a national championship at Oklahoma. The whole family's really good at everything they do. Shout out to everybody. And Te-Hina, we can't wait to watch you play in the WNBA.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Te-Hina Paopao, headed to Atlanta. Meanwhile, the 19th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft is in the Indiana Fever, selecting Makayla Timpson from Florida State University. So the first pick of the night for the Indiana Fever is Makayla Timpson from Florida State.
I know Amber Cox and Lynn Dunn are thrilled that this young woman was still available for the Indiana Fever. They were talking about how she plays exactly the way they want to play. She is 6'2" with a 6'10" wingspan. Ryan, she's a rim runner. What is Caitlin Clark like?
Rim runners.
Rim runners. She's going to throw the ball down to you. She's a rim protector as well. She's quick off the bounce, can get those offensive boards. This young woman has a great chance to stick with the Indiana Fever.
The only player in D1 this past season to average 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So you talk about a player that has a motor. You mentioned Caitlin Clark, who plays with such a motor. This is a great fit. And it's not about what you said earlier. It's not about when you get picked. It's about where you get picked and how you fit with that team.
Well, speaking of where you get picked and the fit, the Indiana Fever also have the 20th pick. And with that selection, the Fever take Bree Hall from the University of South Carolina.
Another great move when it comes to fit. What did they just get with Michaela Timpson that we talked about, the defensive energy? What is Bree Hall known for? Her defensive presence at South Carolina. She can also run to the corner and also shoot threes, also space the floor, plays with a motor, has a ton of speed and athleticism. Another great pick for Indiana.
A good culture pick, too.
Yes.
I was so impressed with her leadership that we've seen over the course of her career at South Carolina. And this is a player over the 6 games in the NCAA tournament, shot over 50% from the three-point line, showed that she is certainly a weapon from the perimeter.
All right, the 21st pick is in as well. That one belongs to the Los Angeles Sparks. For that selection, we head back to the podium to the commissioner.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Sanaya Fagan from the University of South Carolina.
Sanaya Fagan exchanging big hugs with her support system, Dawn Staley, and the South Carolina coaching staff here to see the third member of their team go tonight. And Sanaya Fagan, Rebecca, think about how many times this year we talked about just how impressed we were with Sanaya Fagan, her vocal leadership on the floor, the way she improved, her passing from the post, and now she has a home in the WNBA.
Ryan, you and I did a lot of South Carolina games this year, and every time we watched this young woman play, we would look at one another and say, she looks like a pro. And part of that is her size, of course. 6'3", has good length, but all of those other things, yes, she can score inside. She's a terrific high-low passer. She's great passing to the other big on the interior. She has range out to 17 feet. She does the other things. And when you watch South Carolina's practice, the one voice in terms of player voice that you would hear more than any other was Sanaya Fagan.
And such a strong finish to her season, 11 points per game over the final 11 games. That's 64%. She's got a lot of momentum going into her professional career.
And she takes that momentum right to this interview with Holly Rowe.
Well, her momentum is on fire. 10 points per game over your last 11 games. You came into your own this season for South Carolina, but you had to trust in the process. You told me that it was important for you to trust. Why?
I mean, the Lord just told me to trust. My mama told me to trust. My support system told me to trust, and I did exactly that.
Coach Staley has been singing your praises all year about what a leader. When we asked who's the most important voice on that team, it was your teammates that said you. How can you bring that piece of yourself to the WNBA and to the LA Sparks?
Well, I mean, I feel like it helps me a lot. I feel like it helps me as a player and as a teammate just to be vocal and to tell my teammates what it is.
Your family's here tonight. I know they've meant so much to you. Your mom was a great player herself, right? Tell me what your family means to you here tonight in this beautiful moment.
I mean, my family means a lot to me. I mean, I wouldn't be here where I am now without them. So just them, seeing them there and just supporting me as much as they do, I love it.
All right, we'll see you in LA. What a great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Sanaya Fagan, headed to the LA Sparks. Still plenty more to come, including Paige Beckers, the #1 overall pick, joins the show next on ESPN.
Basketball has taught me a lot, but one lesson stands out. It's not about where you're from. It's where you shoot from.
hoping to go as a first pick. I hope for 5 years.
I'd say that was very Nostradamus-like for Paige Beckers. How amazing, and the number 1 overall pick here in the 2025 draft joins the show right now. And I don't know if you've heard, Paige, but you have some fans in the building here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. You look back at that, and I mean, it's got to be unbelievable to see you say that in 2019 as a young girl going into college. Now here's a young woman to have your dreams come true. What has it felt like to experience this tonight and to hear your name called with that first overall pick?
Yeah, just extremely grateful for the whole journey since that moment where that video was made, the entire 5 years since then, the ups and downs, the everything, the relationships, the experiences, the bonds that I built. It's just been amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So to be where my feet are tonight, to share this moment with the people that I love, just means everything.
We've seen you at WNBA games. I know you've been a WNBA fan for a long time. What are you most looking forward to on the court, whether it's people you might play with or people you might play against here in your first season?
Yeah, just competing at an extremely high level. You always dream to get to the WNBA, the highest stage of basketball. Playing against my former teammates, Nika, Aaliyah, who are here today. I can't wait. And Liv, and then everybody, honestly. I'm so excited.
You know, Paige, we've talked about your game all season. We all have so much to say about your game, but for the Dallas fans watching, for the W fans watching, how would you describe what you're bringing to the WNBA?
Just a selfless leader, a person who just wants to win, will do whatever it takes to win, and somebody who plays with so much heart and passion and so much love for the game and love sharing that with others. And yeah, just trying to win.
Paige, obviously, you know, there's been anticipation about the moment you just had with Connecticut and winning that championship. What has the afterglow been like? What have these days been like in Connecticut, the culmination of this career, this journey, and experiencing that peak?
Extremely fun, bittersweet. Sometimes I just start crying because like it's over, but just super happy that it even happened and that the whole journey, the relationships, experiences like I've talked about. But it's been a whirlwind. A lot of late nights, early mornings, a lot of traveling back and forth from New York to stores. But man, extremely grateful and running on great fumes.
Well, Paige, congratulations on a historic collegiate career and now a big night starting your professional life as the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 draft.
Thank you, guys.
Paige Beckers joining the show here, the number 1 pick. Meanwhile, we have more picks in this second round. For the Chicago Sky at 22, they take Aisha Coulibaly from Texas A&M. Lucy Olson from Iowa goes 23 to Washington. Meanwhile, Delia Daniels from Washington goes to Minnesota at 24. And Rhea Marshall, who had so many impressive moments for USC in the NCAA tournament, felt like she just kept peaking and raising that peak through the tournament. She goes 25 to the Connecticut Sun. More picks to come from New York City on draft night.
The WNBA Draft 2025 is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Nike. Just do it.
My new car. Please bring me
cutting ceremony at the six-school campus, and then hit the court to help lead students in a junior MBA and junior WNBA clinic and other wellness programming. Time to get the next pick in this 2025 WNBA draft. The 26th selection is in, and for that, we go back to the podium to the commissioner, the Seattle Storm selection.
With the 26th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Serena Sundell, Kansas State University.
Well, you guys talk about not when, but where, and Serena Sundell goes to a place that has quite the history of successful guards in the Seattle Storm.
And a place that needs a combo guard, and that's what Serena Sundell can be. This is a young woman at 6'2", led the nation in assists per game this past season at just under 7.5 assists a game. And her coach, Jeff Mitty, said we could play to her and we could play through her. With her size, she's very good at getting in the post and posting up smaller guards. And where she is truly remarkable is her ability to facilitate when she does get the ball on the block. This is a young woman who has a versatile skill set and certainly brings great size at that point guard position.
9 double-figure assist games this season. She had an NCAA tournament game where she had 19 points and 14 assists on the road on the big stage. She's got the mid-range game, but her ability, like you said, Rebecca, to find her teammates. We've already talked about this Seattle Storm being one that has really strong pieces, and they add another one here with Serena Sundell.
Two-time first-team All-Big 12. Career highs in scoring and assists this season, and Serena is with Holly.
Well, Rebecca Lobo just said this. It's not when, but where. And this is a great fit for you with your skill set. Tell me what it's like to hear your name called and know you're going to such a great team.
Yeah, I'm just excited, full of gratitude, excited to be on this big stage and for the opportunity that's about to come.
Your brother had an interesting situation. He's now playing for, I think it's the Seattle Seahawks. So that kind of worked out, right?
I would say so, yes. My parents are thrilled. I'm thrilled. It'll be perfect, yes.
He was undrafted and had to make a team. What have you learned from him about how you can go in and make this roster?
Yeah, I think that's just an incredible story. All you need is one opportunity and go make the most of it.
You just got your opportunity tonight. I can't wait to watch you make the most of it.
Thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Serena Sundell is headed to the Seattle Storm. Meanwhile, earlier in the first round, Rebecca, we saw Georgia Amore, a player who I think we're very excited to see at the next level. And you're going to break down what she might bring at the professional level after a really historic collegiate career, both at Virginia Tech and then at Kentucky.
Yeah, certainly Georgia Amore, a player we expect to make the roster. Serena Sundell, let's make no mistake, she can make that Seattle Storm roster. They have the room and they have the need for her. So a third-round pick who certainly can make their roster. But yeah, we look at Georgia Amore, the small guard who can simply get her shot off. That's the question. How is she going to be able to get her shot off against bigger defenders? She is so good at drawing defensive attention and navigating with her dribble out of it. That time, 3 defenders came, escape right, and then a little step to the left. That's where she can create so much space when she goes to that left side. Again, what do you do with her? Oftentimes draws multiple defenders. She splits the screen, has a big defender coming to her, still able to loft it up and score inside. Once again, how is she going to manipulate the defense? 37 feet away from the basket. You have to come out on her. She's going to see the driving lanes, get through, find teammates, or again, the ability to score over bigger and longer defenders. And that's going to be a huge key for her in the WNBA as well. And how good is